was never in my plan to be on radio.
Okay.
Or actually even do media to begin with. I just wanted, so depressed and like, this is not what I want, but what is so all of us who were born inside church, not as in Tizazalelo Pagat.
That deliver.
No, not our prophet Abez or the bishop's children in church, but they just wanted to be normal. Yes, it became the talk of the town, like yes. And so Gelunwele and all these things.
I found out when I was now in it with
damn.
The social media streets are not.
And as much as it's attractive, it's addictive, right? It's very addictive when people have to tell you, yes, this is news with
physically,
right? Oh my God.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Taboka Nleya, also known as the Fitness Doctor, and today I'm joined by. Yes.
Hello, guys. Taboka Nleya here. I don't even know what. You know what? Before we begin, I am so nervous, but I hope he's going to take good care of me here. I'm so nervous. I'm never on this other side.
No, I was actually about to ask, how does it feel not being the one that is on the other side of the station, but being like on this side on the receiving end?
It feels so awkward. I'm excited, yes, please don't get me wrong, but I'm also just so nervous. I don't even know why.
Serious?
I guess I'll get used to it as time goes on.
Guys, you should listen to her on radio, 100.3.
100.3.
Yes.
100.3.
All right, so tell us about yourself. Who is Taboka Nleya? What do you do?
Okay, Taboka Nleya. Taboka Nleya, first of all, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Born and raised, obviously, here in Bulawayo, in Zimbabwe. And I'm a lover of Christ. I love art. I guess just being born in a musical family just, made me love art, music. And now currently doing radio. I don't even know what else to say. That's just about it. I'm a media personality. And
the biggest for me, to be honest. Honestly, I love how she's so authentic, how she's so original, and is proud of who she is. Being the Kalanga princess, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
Manda's a queen Kalanga princess.
Yes.
So
proudly Kalanga. That's amazing. So, what got you into radio specifically? What got you into that journey of radio?
To be honest, I actually did not think that was never in my plan to be on radio.
Okay.
Or actually even do media to begin with. I just wanted, when I was at school, I used to do debate and public speaking at school. So we used to travel, doing debate, doing public speaking, and I used to be so passionate about it. And I just loved the art of speaking. So now, so we A-level, I was born to be a lawyer. I wanted to become a lawyer, and believe you me, I kid you not, that was my passion. That was what I wanted, because I think everyone owns arts, owns debate, you already see yourself as a lawyer, defending people. But I guess it just didn't turn out right, because my points did not tally with the points that we needed, especially at UZ and at MSU. They immediately said, my dear, even if you had 14 and a half, you will not, because they wanted 15 points.
Straight points.
So I couldn't get into that field, and I was so devastated, because that's what I wanted to do, and I did not have any option B. Okay. What else do you want to do if you don't do law? I didn't know what I was going to do. So I guess I just settled for media and society studies, because there's someone that we knew there that advised us, me and my parents, which actually can do this one. It's equally as good, and I just settled for that. And I never used to like media really at all at school. The whole art of it, I just didn't like it. So I did that, and even my lectures but I'm not saying about my lectures. I just didn't feel passionate. But here's the twist now. When we branched into doing filming and broadcasting, I was cast into broadcasting.
Okay.
So I didn't know that there was that side of media, where you have to speak.
Right.
So I remember at school, Gwagule set up a radio. So we would do practicals, we would do assignments, and they would ask us to speak in Anisigu radio. And I'm like, this sounds kind of fun. I feel like I'm at home. Now I'm at school, you know. And Konapa was on my second year, says Sayago attachment.
Okay.
So I was like, but I think this could work. So I then just Sesigu, third year, I went to Sky's Metro FM to look for attachment, and immediately I just got the attachment. And I never used to enjoy doing stories and writing articles, but of course I was good. I think it was I needed to do is Dori Land. But then because the executive producer at the time, Mr. Posentu, was like, everyone, you intern, you're a student on attachment, you have to do both.
Okay.
Like, you have to do your stories, but you also have to be on radio. At least you have a taste of radio.
Always.
And I knew I wanted to do that more than, the story, writing stories. But I guess that's just where it all began. And I started by co-hosting an Saturday weekend show, Tang Sikiang local with Kaya Moy. She's no longer with Sky's Metro FM, she's now at ZFM.
Okay.
But that's how it began. Sorry, it was a long story, but
no,
that's just cool. About it.
So now, from where you are, do you think God almost directed you to that path?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Do you know, I feel like just being there at Sky's Metro FM has opened so many doors that I never thought. And I'm at doors before I even went to university. Some of the things that are happening, some of, the doors that are opening, some of the doors that are closing as well. I feel like it's just a confirmation that it is never our plan. It has never been our plan. It is only God's plan. And sometimes you feel like so depressed and like, this is not what I want. But what does God want at the end of the day? And that's where He came through for me, and I understood. I was like, okay, so from the day on, as this is God's thing, do your thing, and I'll just follow.
Many are men's plans, but God's will prevails, eh?
Absolutely.
Like sometimes, and I've noticed most of the time, God's plan doesn't really look like the most appealing. Like it looks like, very boy. Even if you go back to the story of Jacob, when he wanted Rachel, but he was given Leah. But Leah ideally was the right wife.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is where Jesus came from lineage Leah. And maybe there's someone, I'm sorry, this is a side note, maybe there's someone out there, you've been directed, you've been rerouted in a direction that you don't really understand. You feel like you've been given a wife with lazy eyes. They say Leah had lazy eyes. She was not as attractive as people would want to think in those days. But God has given you something that doesn't look very attractive, but that thing is going to lead you to exactly where you need to be. Like we're hearing from Taboka's story, from doing media over law. Who knows, maybe you would have been very silent as a lawyer than where God wants your voice to be heard now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I understand you're a pastor's child.
Yo, son.
Let's talk about that. How is it being a PK?
First of all, I want to appreciate my father, my parents, my mother, my father, Pastor Nleya, Mrs. Nleya. Without these two people, I don't even think I would be here today. I come from a family of 6 children, us being the last born with me and my twin sister.
Okay.
So all of us, we were born inside church, not as in Tisazalelo Pagat.
What did that deliver?
Not in that sense, not in that aspect, but we were born to believe in Christ, And I think already, overseer or bishop or prophet, whatever, you already have this covering, in your life, because your parents are Christians. They pray for you all the time before they do a baby dedication, all those things, and we saw all those videos growing up. I'm a baby, welcome, being a pastor's kid. But I do have to really state how sometimes it can be so difficult being a pastor's kid. I remember when we were growing up, kwakusithi nxa kungabuya abantwana abache-church siku-Sunday school, they would expect us to know every verse in the Bible. Imagine. They'll be like, so you guys likhuleka kangaki ngelanga? Liyakhuleka lingakalali. And well, that's okay. But I feel like being a pastor's kid, there's so many expectations from the congregation, from people in general, and they expect you to just be this spiritual human being like the second Jesus. So I don't know what to, I really want to understand what makes general people like think in those terms about pastors' children. Like, because at the end of the day, all have fallen short in the glory of God, and we're all human beings, including those pastors. So, and I just feel like we should all be treated equally. And I have so many stories that I can share, but I think I'll just
share some of them.
And sometimes you know what, I won't say much, but I'll just have to say it's very difficult, and I think we should be treated in a better way. Yeah, in a better way. We can do better as the congregation.
Yeah, I know, pastors' kids, you guys have got a lot of expectations. We have a lot of expectations from you.
What are the expectations that you have for us or from us?
Like, almost, with pastors' kids, it's like they're put on a pedestal. Like, so you almost want to look up to them. You almost want to do what they do because, like, you're like, yo, guys, they're treated, they're under our pastor, so they probably get his wisdom probably every day, and we just get it on Sundays, and these guys should be the wisest kids. Like, I'm not saying this from experience, but I'm just saying from the time we're growing up, pastors' children, how we treat them. So yeah, like, wow.
And it's not wrong. I know this is what I expect from someone, but I feel like it's a little overstep, and I feel like kule statement yasosazi ukuthi abantwana babamfundisi abezwa bonke, and it's not because ukuthi abantwana babafundisi abezwa, abantwana baprofet abezwa, or the bishop's children in church, but they just want to be normal, I think. And so sometimes when all these things happen, ubingelele church, phambi kwechurch yabile abantu abangu 5,000, kumele uhambe ubingelela everyone. So ubingelela everyone, like chone njani. And by the way, there's something that happened that me and my twin sister, we satisfied Form 4, we failed our O-levels. The first time, because we repeated our O-levels.
Okay.
We failed our O-levels, me and my twin sister. So, it became the talk of the town. Like, yes. And so and all these things that happen. And, you step into an environment, you already know that these people are saying this, even if they didn't say it, but all those things. It's very difficult becoming a pastor. Again, we lost so many friends at that time when we failed our O-levels. I mean, there are so many stories that I can share, but I guess I'll just share this for now. It's very difficult, but we push through.
So
I guess that's the assignment God has placed on us.
Exactly. So do you think it has affected who you are now as a human being, or both negative and positive? Do you think it affected anything in any way?
Absolutely. It has to affect. I mean, in life there has to be a balance of ups and downs. I mean, the ups are obviously, they outweigh the downs, but I think sometimes the downs but the ups are, of course, like you just being responsible when it comes to your spiritual life. And you know that you have an assignment. You can't afford to disappoint your parents. You can't afford to disappoint the church that your father is leading. You have to be on point. And we are to please your parents, but at the end of the day, but this is benefiting me. I remember at some point in 2015, I don't think you are born in a Christian family, you are born under the pastor's guidance, or your father. So you automatically are saved, but that's not how it is. You have to be saved, because at the end of the day, when God says abangenayo ngapha on judgment day, omunye lomunye uzimele yedwa, kulandaba ukuthi wawungumntakamfundisi or anything. So I remember I made that decision in 2015. My dad called for an altar call, and I went there on my own. to say I'm getting saved on my own, because that's something that had never happened. So I went there and I got saved on my own because of me being a pastor's kid and all of that. So I just decided to do that. So that's one of the apps you uqalisa usenze ngani ufuna ukwenzela your parents and make them proud. Of course, yes, it's a good thing, but also you end up realizing, no, but this is a good thing for me. It works for me. Praying, oh my God, reading the Bible, just soaking yourself in the presence of God is one of the best things that anyone can ever.
Wow.
And then the downs, of course, what I was explaining to you before this. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like, so looking at who you are now, like, and she always refuses that she's an influencer, but like, I feel like she's got so much influence in the social media world. Even the numbers say it all. Like, but she always fights me when I say, you're an influencer. She's fighting me now. I can already see it, but how do you think how have you been surviving being a Christian and doing what you do?
It has been so easy. Being a Christian, actually, I think you shield. So, do you know this is the very tough industry? And I think in attachment, I was not noticing it because I was just having so much fun. Yeah, studio, playing some music, just doing what you love, speaking, hearing people say you're doing so well, your voice sounds so nice on radio. Like, who's this person? But it has been a tough one. It's a very male-dominated industry, and also just a tough industry on its own. Arts and media is a very tough industry. So many things happen. I'm sure Lauya was in general. You are also part of the art industry. So, but just being a Christian has shielded me from so many things, so many people.
Okay. So many people?
Yeah, so many people that, these people are not supposed to be in the lane where I'm in. And then they are fit in the calling that I guess God has for me, so many come in sheep's clothing.
Oh, they pretend.
I mean, it's normal. That's just how people are. So I guess unkulunkulu always just shields me all the time. And just knowing who I am as an individual, I love being a Christian. I'm vocal about it. And I just identifying myself and my niche.
So, like you're saying, so many people come in sheep's clothing. How do you mean when you say that?
It's not everyone that sees you doing well and they mean well for you. You hear so many voices. So many people come with so many advice, and omunye this, omunye has an opinion about that. And I mean, most of the people obviously have good intentions and they would want to help. But it's not everyone that comes through to you and they offer to help and they really genuinely want to help and make you see, I don't know, just make you become a better person in the particular industry. So I just feel like unkulunkulu has a way of making me identify the right voices and the voices that are not right.
Okay. So like everyone now wants to be famous. Like everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone probably wants to speak on radio. What are some of the things, I know we always talk about the good. What are some of the things that you would warn someone about in the journey that they want to pursue of influence, of being known by people, of being in the limelight? What do you think someone who's watching this episode should watch out for? Things that are not said. Because for me, there are a lot of things that I wish I knew before I asked for what I asked for. Uti, as much as you want to be seen by a lot of people, but it's not only positive people that are going to see you. You're going to get trashed so much, even in the comment section. I didn't know that. And I only found out when I was now in it. Uti,
damn.
The social media streets are not that easy.
I think it becomes easier when you are not chasing to be famous. Yeah, so not chasing to be famous. Your goal just to do what you're called to do and just being in your lane. Do you know there is power in just staying there ku-track yakho, you will not go wrong. Like, nothing will go wrong. Of course, kuzabuya isivunguvungu nje, and a few things just to digress you. But if you just stay there and stay focused on, okay, so Mina, I want to get there. This is how I'm going to get there. I'm not chasing people. I'm not chasing fame. I'm not chasing numbers. I'm not. If you keep you realize that all these things will just be an added advantage into the journey that you are walking, the journey that you are. So don't chase numbers.
Wow.
And as much as it's attractive, it's addictive, right? It's very addictive when people have to tell you that you look nice, you're doing well, you know. You like my followers, look at every day chatting, screening their followers. And as much as that is a little bit attractive and addictive, but just focus on not looking at that. I think if you do that,
okay. So do you ever feel like there was a time social media was toxic to you where you end up saying, "Hi, singing chianila"?
I think all the time.
Serious?
I don't know, man. What do you think? Because I don't know. Do you know there is a good side to social media? I think that's the one that I've been chasing for, I think, from January up till now. I'm now choosing who to follow because I noticed do you know social media can drain you. Whereas this would news with
physically,
right? What's going on? It's just you on TikTok and just scrolling, you're seeing people doing that, just seeing this, just seeing this. And it would make you think that you're not doing fine. But you know, there's someone that's looking at you, Tapiwa, and they're saying, oh my God, Tapiwa is doing but when you're just saying, no, I'm not doing fine. So yes, most of the time it can be so draining, but I do have to applaud myself. So far this year, I've been doing well when it comes to knowing what content I am taking in my mind. Who am I listening to? Who am I following? Who is inspiring me? And that has been helping me so much. But yeah, it can be very toxic. But I choose what to watch and who to listen to.
Yeah, I know social media can be very toxic. Like, you become who you listen to most of the time. Like, because people used to talk about environment as a determining factor for our character. Social media is now an environment that can change your character. It can change how you view life. We need to be very conscious of what we listen to and what we ingest on social media, because a lot of us are taking in things not knowing that it's subconsciously changing who we are. Like, you notice Ferrari, but because you keep on seeing Ferraris, your inspirations driving Ferraris, now you now think that's what you like. But sit down and try and be quiet with yourself and see that, is this really what I want? Is this body type really what I want? You see, this is what's now pressuring people to push for BBLs, because they never feel adequate. Why? Because social media always leads to comparison, and comparison is the thief of joy. I want to tell someone, you're doing well, you're doing better than you think you are, but unfortunately, you're ingesting so much about what's going on outside, and you now feel like you're not doing anything. But I want you to see how many victories that you've made this year, last year, how many victories, how you're showing up for your kids, how you're showing up for your family, how you're showing up in all aspects. But just because you're comparing, you feel like you're not doing anything. Yeah. So, like, what advice would you give to the 12-year-old Taboka today if you had to give her advice?
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But just keep going.
Just keep going.
Just keep going. And allow God to lead you. I think when I was growing up in Nigeria, just like I was saying, you have your own plans, but just allow God and let God lead the way. God knows best all the time. More than yourself. He knows you better. He knows he knows better than any philosopher in the world, or anyone, or any person that you think, I'm aspiring to be like this person. Just let God and let him lead you.
Wow. That's a beautiful thing. So the last thing, I know this is usually the last question, but the last thing, someone is out there, they're struggling with social media, they're feeling depressed all the time. What are some of the things that you have done personally that could help someone who's watching to ingest on healthier content, like to just have a bit of a better relationship with social media? Because if there's toxic, then there's a good side. So we're trying to run away from the toxic. What is it that you can tell them that has helped you become better with social media?
Absolutely. Personally, when I'm most of the times I'm on TikTok. Now I'm on TikTok most of the times. I have yabona kule side lana yokuthi there's the For You page where you keep scrolling in, but there's the side where there's following. So you just follow good people, follow the content that you think will help you, content that you think will build you as an individual, be it your spiritual life, be it your health life, be it the career that you are looking forward to, having. Follow that. Now ungena ku TikTok uhluzijela ukuthi mina I am scrolling the following side and not the For You page. You realize ukuthi by the end of the day or whatever time allocated for you to be on social media, you realize that you feel more boosted up and positive more than the For You page. And also, I think take social media breaks, in as much as that is so cliche. Take my social media breaks. It's very important. You can either delete, you can either pause them, you can have time out on social media. I have that in my phone. Mandas, so it's cut so good to end something else and be productive. I guess that's just about it. And yeah, follow the good people, follow the right people, follow the right pages, and you'll be just fine.
Wow, that's amazing. It's such an honor to have her here. It was such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for the gems that you've dropped. I'm sure a lot of people benefited from this podcast. Guys, be sure to make sure you like, you subscribe, you share the video, because I'm sure a lot of you also needed to hear this. And I'm sure if you benefited from it, someone else could benefit from it. And do you have any last words? I'm always the one receiving this question when I go to Sky's Metro. So, Taboka, do you have any last words that you would want to share before you leave?
All right. Yeah, I can. I love two people in the Bible. I love Joseph, the story of Joseph. And I also love Solomon. The decisions that Solomon had to make when God asked him, what exactly do you want? And beyond asking for the materialistic things and asking for all those things, Solomon asked for wisdom. He was like, God, I just want wisdom. And anyone that is listening to this right now, I just am praying that God imparts so much wisdom in your life.
Wow.
Because some of the decisions that we make, we're not making them because asigwazi, but we're making them because we lack wisdom, and God is not helping us with the wisdom to, help us make those decisions. And if you make the right decisions with wisdom, you will realize that even your financial stability will be there.
Wow.
Even the boyfriend or husband or wife that you are looking forward to having, you have wisdom to select the right person with the guidance of God.
Wow.
The business idea that you think, I'm not even making it, I'm having a stumbling block, uNkulunkulu will give you the wisdom to make the right business decisions and having the right business partners. Whatever decision that you want to make, God will help you with wisdom. And the story of Joseph, I'm taking so much time. The story of Joseph, do you know, I was saying earlier on about how, sometimes you have so many people here, but with Joseph, it was the immediate people that were there. Those were his brothers. But Joseph was a dreamer. When Joseph dreamed, yes, at the time what was happening, and sometimes you don't know what's happening at the time, but like the story of Joseph, the brothers were doing all these things, not knowing that they are catapulting him to the blessing and the destination that was going to help them as well at the end of the day. Because when there was hunger in their home, Joseph became a deliverer in their lives, all of them, the 11 of them, including the parents, they bowed down to him. you know, esengumuntu ophezulu, and he helped them and delivered them from all the hunger that was there. So do not worry with what's going on in your life, and don't worry who's trying to pull you down. Anyone who's trying, but someone is pulling you down, but by the time they release you, you are shooting up. So don't worry. That's my last words. I don't know.
Wow.
Those are my last words.
Wow.
God bless you guys.
That was filled with so much wisdom. Like, it makes sense why Solomon is a favorite character. Are you still panicking?
A little bit. I'm panicking. Someone's going to
at home, guys. Thank you so much, Taboka, for coming.
I appreciate it so much.
We really appreciate you, and I'm sure even the viewers appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Everyone knows that another day, another opportunity to level up.
Yes.